Mel Brooks, born Melvin Kaminsky, was born in the 1920s and served in both France and Belgium during World War II. When he returned home, he was employed as a drummer, a pianist, and a comic. He worked on a number of plays and helped to create TV shows like Get Smart in '65 and write and direct The Producers in '68. Brooks met Gene Wilder in '63 when his future wife Anne Bancroft introduced them. Wilder was acting in a play with her, and the two bonded over their humor, and their relationship led to Wilder starring in The Producers. His movie, The 12 Chairs, in 1970 didn't do very well, but then Brooks got hired to help with a movie script called Tex X. That movie ended up falling apart and the director left, so Brooks was given a shot at directing it. He did some rewrites, and the movie was renamed Blazing Saddles, his third film. Gig Young was cast as the Waco Kid character, but he was an alcoholic who collapsed on the set from alcohol withdrawal on the first day of shooting, so he needed to be replaced. As a side note, Gig Young died by suicide in 1978 after murdering his fifth wife 3 weeks after their wedding. So Brooks calls Gene Wilder to see if he's free at the last moment to fill the Waco Kid role. Wilder by that time had some success with films like Willy Wonka and The Chocolate Factory. On the list of the highest grossing films of 1974, Blazing Saddles is number 2. And that year, Towering Inferno, The Godfather Part 2, Chinatown, Death Wish, The Longest Yard, and a bunch more well-known movies were made. '74 was a hell of a year for movies. While filming Blazing Saddles, Wilder was making notes for a movie idea that he pitched to Brooks about a descendant of the Frankenstein family called Young Frankenstein. Brooks loved it, and they spent nights together writing the script over tea and biscuits. Brooks was looking for a specific type of performer for the female role named Inga. Terry Garr was working as a dancer in various musicals, then got small roles in a couple of movies. She appeared on Johnny Carson to promote one of these movies, which is where Mel Brooks first saw her, and he knew she was who he wanted. Now they needed Frankenstein's monster. Peter Boyle had been in a number of small movie roles, and Brooks thought he nailed the monster role in the auditions. For the Igor character, Peter Boyle had worked with Marty Feldman, and so he suggested him. Brooks thought that Feldman's distinctive physical appearance and comedic timing was a perfect fit for the character. Cloris Leachman was cast as Frau Blucher, the housekeeper, after Brooks saw her performance in a sketch where she played a German woman, and he was struck by how similar the character was to the role he envisioned. Elizabeth, played by Madeline Kahn, is a socialite and fiancée of Dr. Frederick Frankenstein. Kahn was in Blazing Saddles, and Brooks was impressed by her previous comedic work. There's a lot of things that went on during the filming of this movie. Mel Brooks discovered that the guy who made the elaborate electrical machinery for the lab sequences in the 1931 Frankenstein movie was still alive and living in Los Angeles, and he had stored all the equipment in his garage. Brooks rented the equipment and gave him the screen credit he didn't receive for the original film. When Wilder leans in to kiss Madeline Kahn goodnight, her last second quip was ad-libbed by her.
No tongues.
The shifting hump on Igor's back was an ad-libbed gag. Feldman had been shifting the hump back and forth for several days when cast members finally noticed. They thought it was funny, so they added it to the script. And Feldman was credited with making up the joke when Dr. Frankenstein says to Igor,
"You know, I don't mean to embarrass you, but I'm a rather brilliant surgeon. Perhaps I could help you with that hump."
What hump?
Gene Hackman learned about the film through his frequent tennis partner, Gene Wilder, and requested a role because he wanted to try comedy. He volunteered to play the blind hermit for free. Brooks initially thought that the walk this way gag was too corny and wanted to cut it from the film, but when he saw the audience's reaction to it at a screening, he decided to leave it in.
Walk this way. This way.
In 1974, the band Aerosmith took a break from a long night of recording to see this film. Steven Tyler wrote the band's hit Walk This Way the morning after, inspired by Feldman's line. Brooks said that when Columbia Pictures realized he wanted to shoot the film in black and white, they were opposed. So Brooks took the project to 20th Century Fox, where they had no problem with this idea. However, a producer says that the move to Fox was because Columbia was unwilling to increase the budget from $1.75 million to $2.8 million. The original cut of the film was nearly twice as long as the final cut, and it was considered to be an abysmal failure. After a marathon cutting session, they produced the final cut of the film. At one point, they noted that for every joke that worked, there were 3 that just fell flat. The 1931 Frankenstein had bolts in his neck, but Brooks didn't want to use them to avoid a copyright issue with the original Frankenstein. So makeup artist William Tuttle, a veteran of films including The Wizard of Oz, Singing in the Rain, and 7 Faces of Dr. Lao, for which he won a special Oscar, before there was even a makeup category at the Oscars, came up with what Brooks calls a stroke of genius, a zipper. Brooks and Wilder almost had a fist fight over the putting on the Ritz scene. Wilder loved it while Brooks hated it, but the fans also loved it, so it stayed. With the $2.8 million budget, the movie made over $86 million. And this movie was, like Blazing Saddles, released in 1974 and was number 3 on that year's highest grossing list. All the actors in this movie later went on to quite a bit of fame and success. Madeline Kahn died in 1999 at the age of 57 from cancer. Terry Garr died in 2024 at the age of 79 from complications of multiple sclerosis. Cloris Leachman died in 2021 at the age of 94 from a stroke. Marty Feldman died in 1982 at 48 from a heart attack. Peter Boyle died in 2006 at 71 from cancer and heart disease. Gene Wilder died in 2016 at 83 from complications of Alzheimer's. And Mel Brooks, at the age of 99, is still alive and kicking. Good night.
What knockers!
Oh, thank you, Doctor.